In this video, I'm going to teach you a card routine right from my professional repertoire. This is one of my favorite plots called Perfect Pair. And this kicker ending is an insane ACAAN style plot that you guys are going to absolutely love. So let's take a quick look at a performance. All right, guys, so for this routine, I'm going to give the deck a quick mix, a quick shuffle, and then I'm going to hand it to the spectator to take under the table. So I'll give them the deck, they're going to go under the table, and I'm going to instruct them to cut off a chunk of cards and flip it face up on top of the deck. And once they've done that, they're going to cut a bigger chunk of cards, flip that face up. Now they'll take the deck out and they're going to spread through, take out the first face down card, and they're going to secretly put that in their pocket and never look at it. I am going to now take the deck and set down some predictions, okay? So I think I'm going to go with this one as my first prediction. Then I think maybe, no, you don't seem like that type of person. I think I'm going to go for this. And finally one more. Oh, right here near the top. Let's go with that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. So I've set out 3 different predictions. So now it's your turn to pick some cards. So for the first one, you can reach in and I just want you to touch any card you want. Hold up one finger, it could be this one, it could be this one right here. All right, so they touch this card. In this case, it's the 4 of clubs. All right, now we're gonna need to pick another card. So I'm gonna hand them the deck and I'm gonna have them start dealing cards into my hand. So imagine they're dealing cards into my hand and now they can stop, they can shuffle, they can mix the cards. This is them shuffling as much as they want. Keep dealing, stop, shuffle, deal, shuffle some more, maybe throw some cards on the table, mix it up, and whenever they're happy, they're gonna keep dealing and they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop, let's say right about here. Now these are all in my hand. Of course, they could have stopped anywhere, but they stopped on this card right here, which is in this case, the 2 of hearts. Now we need one more selection, and for this last one, I want to make sure it's absolutely as fair as possible. Hold on. You know, I think I might change the... No. Okay, I'm going to stick with it. I had a second thought. I almost changed my mind, but I'm going to stick with it. So now I'm going to spread the deck, and they can reach in and pick any card that they want, fair as can be. So let's say they come all the way down here and they take out this card. Now they're gonna set it on top, just like they did before. Let's take a look at which one they got. So they got the 8 of spades. The 8 of spades, and again, I had set down my prediction over here, and they, of course, went with the 8 of spades. Now, these are 3 selections, 3 completely random selections. I'm gonna get rid of the deck, make this as fair as possible. Over here, they set down the 4 of clubs. Remember, they picked any card, they touched any card. Incredibly, my prediction was the 4 of spades. Now over here, they had the 2 of hearts. Again, they dealt, they shuffled, they stopped at any moment. And my prediction, the 2 of diamonds. Over here, the 8 of spades. Again, I spread the deck. They set down 1 card into my hand. Everything was isolated away from the deck. Yet incredibly, my prediction, the 8 of clubs. Now that's insane. I don't know how you did that. That is a truly incredible experience. But if you remember at the very beginning of all of this, you cut anywhere you want. You took out 1 card and you put it in your pocket, right? And there's been a deck over here the entire time. And in front of us, there is 6 cards that you selected randomly, predictions that I made. If you just add up the numbers of these cards, what do you get? 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus another 8 is 28. Now again, this deck of cards has been here the entire time. I'm gonna hand this to the spectator. They can open it up, take it out themselves, and I want them to deal 28 cards face up into a pile. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, and this is the 28th card. 1 card generated completely at random from 6 different selections that were also generated at random. I want you to reach in and grab that card out of your pocket, that card that's been in your pocket the entire time. We now have 2 remaining cards, 1 final prediction and 1 selection. And this would be absolutely insane if they matched. Let's take a look. What is good, guys? It is Reed and welcome back to another video. Today I have an awesome card magic tutorial for you guys. It's been a little while since I've done a card magic tutorial and I'm super excited to bring you guys a brand new card magic effect on one of my favorite plots, Perfect Pair. Now if you do not know, Perfect Pair is essentially as simple as it gets. You set out a prediction, spectator selects a card in the fairest way possible, and you have picked the matching mate cards. It's an awesome effect. This one is a lot of fun. It's 3 perfect pair reveals followed with an incredible kicker. I love it so much. I've been doing it for so long. It is actually really special because this is a routine that I do use in my professional repertoire. This is very special to be something that I'm teaching on YouTube for free, but I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like this video. Now with the holiday season coming up, I do want to let you guys know I do have some awesome discounts going on right now on my website for the Propless Mentalism Masterclass and the One Ahead Masterclass if you'd like to save some money, or if you'd like to get all of that and some of my best mentalism content, you can go check out my membership here on the channel. It is the best place to learn mentalism. You get access to my mentalism course and all of my masterclasses on the wizard level. Thank you so much for all of the members and all of the support, and I know you guys are loving all the new content. I just recently put up a new little app shortcut that I built just for the members on there in the most recent video in the course. It's absolutely awesome. So if you're interested in that, you can go check that out right up here or at the link in the description. And just so you guys know, YouTube has recently added the ability to join through the YouTube app on iPhone. Previously, they had blocked that because Apple adds a surcharge. So what YouTube has done instead isn't the best solution. It is now available through the iOS app, but everything is marked up. So YouTube is marking up the prices of the membership if you're signing up through the iOS app, which is out of my control. And they're using that marked up price to pay for that Apple fee. So if you do want to join for the actual prices that I set without that little surcharge, copy the link in the description, open it in a Safari browser instead of in the YouTube app, or just simply sign up on a desktop or an Android device. Also, if you guys would like a private lesson, it is getting close to the end of the year. I'm booking up crazy with private lessons. There's not a ton of availability left over the next couple of weeks, but I do have some awesome discounts on that as well. If you would like some one-on-one help to get a private lesson, links are down in the description. So with all that said, guys, let's not waste too much more time and let's jump right into the video. This is a routine that I've spent a lot of time going back and forth, developing and changing in different ways, and I really like where it is now. There's a couple of things I wanted to achieve. I wanted to achieve phases that it grew stronger as they went, something that was really easy to set up and perform, and something that has an awesome kicker ending that they will never see coming. So this routine really fits that bill for me. So let's start first with the setup. So at the end of the video, I'm going to give you another idea that I do a lot that gives this a more mental style twist, allowing you to do sort of a thought of card perfect pair for this final kicker, mixing it in with the ACAAN. But for now, I'm going to teach you the sort of simpler way that just uses playing cards. So the first thing you want to do is take your performance deck and your second deck, which is going to be the ACAAN deck. So you're going to pick your force card that's going to be forced to go in their pocket. Okay, so the force card from that deck, you're going to set it. In this case, I set it to the 28th position. Now you can set it wherever you want. You just want to make sure that the cards that you're going to be using for the perfect pair routine, when you add them all up, they add up to 28. So in this case, I'm using 2 8s, 2 2s, and 2 4s, which is 28. So I add this at 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 27, and then 28, and that goes at the 28th position from top, and that goes inside the box, and I seal that up, and that's ready to go. Now the performance deck, there's a little bit of a setup. So what I like to do is I have my 3 pairs out, and I take 1 card from each and I just randomly place them in the middle. These cards, it doesn't matter where they're at, the deck can be shuffled. Really, I just need 1 of each, the ones that I'm going to be forcing on them, and then the force that matches the ACAAN card for the kicker ending. One of these cards, the first one that I want to force, and it doesn't really matter which one it is, but that goes at the bottom of the deck. The first one out of the 3, not the sort of initial force. Then the other 2 go on top of the deck, and the initial force card goes on top of all of that. And now you're set up. Now, I like to introduce it, give it a quick false cut, and then I'm going to walk them through the cut deeper force. But at this moment, you can really use any force you want. I think a cross cut force could also work really well here if you add a little bit of time misdirection. So perhaps you have them cut, you walk through the cross cut force, and I'll link a video on the cross cut force here. And then you explain to them what you're going to do in this trick. You're going to take out some predictions, but first we need to do this. So here, take a look at the cards you cut to. You could do that. I prefer here, I think, the cut deeper force, but I think both work really well. Something where it's in their hands. You're going to hand them the deck. deck after a quick false cut or false shuffle. Again, I'll link a false cut that you can do right up here. You're gonna have them bring their hands under the table. The reason I like to do that, if you have a spectator that can follow instructions, this is gonna seem a lot more deceptive and it takes away from some of the stranger moments with the cut deeper force. If you wanna make sure they do it right, you can't have them do it out in the open. You say, all right, reach down, I need to cut off a small chunk of cards and flip it face up. Now, to make this truly random, cut a little bit deeper and flip off some more. So now you've cut twice, and now you can have them take the cards out. You say spread through, and you're going to take out the first face down card that you cut to. And you tell them to take this and put it somewhere safe and don't look at it. In this case, I like to use their pocket. You will be in a little bit of a position here with the cut deeper force. You're gonna have your 2 force cards on top and your other force card on the bottom, and then this chunk of cards. So simply all you need to do is just shove these in the middle without disturbing the bottom card or the top 2. Now you're gonna tell them that you're gonna make some predictions. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna go in order of these cards when you take out your prediction. So the first card you see, this 4 of spades, is the first prediction. So you're gonna go through, you're just gonna pull out the 4 of clubs, the corresponding mate. So you're gonna pretend, you're gonna think a little bit, it could be any of these. Look at me for a minute. Oh, you seem like this type of person, whatever you wanna say. I think I'm gonna go for this card right here. You're gonna set down the 4 of clubs. Then you're gonna go with the top card next. So in this case, it's the 8. So I say, okay, and then let me do another one. I'm gonna do a couple of predictions here. Let's go with this one. And then finally, and now I'm gonna do the second from top card as the last one. And finally, maybe this one. No, let's go with this one here. You're gonna set down those 3 cards, and you still have your force cards in the same positions. Again, you can modify some of the forces that you use here. I just think these ones look super fair, particularly the last 2. But like I said, I think you can modify that cut deeper force. I think you do want to do a force where it's really in their hands. So the fan force could work, cross-cut force that I linked earlier, the cut deeper force. This first phase you can also change to any force you're comfortable with. I just think my handling of the spread force, which I will link up here, is the cleanest force you can do. So that's what I do. So in this case, I'm gonna reach through and I'm gonna do my spread force. So I say here, this one right here, yes, and then I just take out that card and it's the force card. So again, I'm not gonna teach it here, but just what I'm doing, I'm culling it underneath. And instead of tapping it together like you usually see, once they touch a card, I just say this one right here. And as I lift up, I'm just pushing that card over, squaring it up with the packet. It's a really, really nice force because it looks so good because, I mean, look at it. Any card, this one right here, no, you wanna keep going? This one here, yeah, okay, remember that card. Here, we'll actually take it out. What is it? 4 of spades. So if you want to learn that, you can check out the tutorial, but that's what you do for the first card. The next card, you then hand them the deck. Now you tell them to start dealing cards one at a time in my hand, and once they get past those first 2 cards, the order is going to be kept. Those first 2 cards are now at the bottom in your hand, and it doesn't matter what they do to the rest of the deck. So after they've dealt those 2, you just say, here, now shuffle. You can mix, by the way, you can cut, you can do whatever you want. Keep dealing, keep shuffling, right? So how it looks at sort of a regular speed is I would say, okay, start dealing cards into my hand one at a time. And now they begin, they do it. And then after they've dealt like about 4, then I'll say, and you, by the way, you can shuffle, you can mix these up to as much as you want. And this is such a deceptive, fair feeling procedure because at this point they can do anything. And then you say, stop whenever you want, whenever you feel happy, just stop. Now, we're gonna execute a bottom deal here. I know you're probably scared about the bottom deal, but it's really not much of a bottom deal. You're just kind of coming in and you're just pulling that card off of the bottom as you make it look like it's coming from the top, right? So this is obviously a random card. I want my force card to be that 8 right there. So I'm just gonna go like that, right? I say, okay, so this is the card you cut to. One thing I like to do is I push off the card first. I say, so this is the card you want. They say yes, and I say, okay. We'll take that card right there. And I'll link a tutorial on the bottom deal right up here in case you need some help with that. Now, if you can't bottom deal, I will give you an alternative in a moment at the end of the video. Again, you can use any force here, but I think you want some kind of dealing force because it feels really, really fair. So now I just come here, I hit this bottom deal and I say, and next, the 8 of clubs. Okay, that's a great choice. Now, once they've set that card down, your next force card is in your hands. So you're just gonna pick up the rest of the deck, set it on top, and now you're gonna casually shuffle it to the top of the deck. And by the way, this forcing idea is basically Daniel Madison's controller idea. It's a great little idea, but I've kind of infused it into this routine here. And for this third phase, we're gonna use another sort of Daniel Madison idea that I've kind of modified, but it's definitely inspired from that. I think he just calls it perfect pair. And it's a great finale to this. We're progressing each time. This time we do a force, this time it's a very clean dealing force, and this time it's just a 1-to-1. They pick any card they want away from the deck. Quick pause in your regularly scheduled program. I just wanna let you guys know that I offer one-on-one virtual private magic lessons, perfect for beginner to advanced magicians and mentalists looking to improve their technique, sleight of hand, learn any of my best effects, learn the fundamentals of card magic, mentalism, or absolutely anything, this is the best value in magic in terms of getting you to become a better magician. I can sit with you one-on-one, tell you exactly what you personally need to work on, and teach you a bunch of the incredible material that I perform in my professional repertoire. If you decide to take a lesson with me, you will get 24/7 personal contact, you'll get custom curriculums, personally tailored effects. Every lesson you will get a downloadable recording, giving you something you can keep with you forever and always return to learn at your own pace. Over on my website, I have a bunch of reviews and testimonials, both video and written form, that you guys can check out. And if you'd like some more info or to book a lesson, all you have to do is head over to the link in the description, or feel free to send me an email at rf.sleights@gmail.com. Now, back to the video. This is my force card on top over here. And then I say, for this last one, I want to take it up to the next level. I then act as if I want to change my mind here. As I do that, I'm going to push off and get a little pinky break under my force card, under the top card here. And I say, you know what, I think I might want to change my mind here. And I'm just going to look at it for a moment, and I should be seeing the matching card. So I look at it and say, actually, you know what, I think I'm good. And I'm just going to turn it over book-wise onto the deck and quickly pick up at my break. And now I've loaded that second card. So it's a really clever load, I think, and it happens super quick. So I say, you know what, I think I might change my mind. Hold on. No, okay, I think I'm going to stick with it. And now I've just loaded it as a double, right? So it's really clever, works really well. So now I hold this in my hand, I'm gonna set the cards down with my left hand and spread them. And then I transfer this back to my left hand. I just hold it naturally like it's one card. And I say, I want you to reach in, pull out any card you want and set it on top of this card in my hand. So now they reach in, they take out any card, they set it on top. Now I say, okay, let's see what card you cut to. I'm just gonna do a block push off. So I'm gonna push off everything. So I'm basically doing a double, but it works well as just pushing off. Just use your thumb and just push off every card except the last one, right? So I push off every card except the last one, and then I just turn it over and I say, oh, the 2 of hearts, that's a good choice. Now I reach underneath and I'm gonna take out the 2 of diamonds. I say, well, I'm gonna set my prediction down there again for a moment. And now again, I have a double in this hand that I need to clean up. So you could do some palming, but I think the easiest way is to just collect the spread and say, it's interesting that you chose the 2 of hearts, because you could have had literally any one of these. As I then set it down and I ditched that double in this way. So I think it's a really nice sequence. It works really well. So again, to run through it quickly, you know, I think I might change my mind. Grab the double and then I spread here. They take out any card. I have them set it in my hand. I do a block push off and I say, let's see what you got. The 2 of diamonds, that's a great choice. Again, I'll set my prediction there. Now, it's interesting you chose the 2 of diamonds, right? Because you could have chosen any one of these. And again, this was a double, and I just pick up the spread. Before flashing this bottom card, I'm just gonna set this on top. And I say, it's interesting you chose the 2 of diamonds because you could have chosen any of these. And I just spread as I do it to kind of justify the motion. And then I pull off the 2 of diamonds and set it down, and I've cleaned up that double. So it works really, really nicely. And now I force the 3 cards. It's as easy as that. Now you just go through, do some recapping, say, look, this first one, you could have chosen any card. And incredibly, my prediction was the 4 of clubs. Over here, you picked the 8 of clubs. Again, you dealt, you shuffled, you stopped anywhere you want. My prediction was the 8 of spades. Over here, you set down one card. Free choice as can be. We were away from the deck, and my prediction was the 2 of hearts. You set down the 2 of diamonds. They go crazy. Seems like the trick's over, but it's not. Now we move into our kicker ending, which you say, look, if you remember, there was a card you put in your pocket at the very beginning. I want you to leave that in your pocket, but you'll also notice I had this other deck that I took out from the very beginning. I told you that we'd be getting to this in a moment. Now, we've picked 6 random cards, right? 6 completely random cards. I want you to add up all the values of these cards. Now they'll add it up and it'll come to 28. And you say, look, I want you to take this deck. It's been here the whole time. You can hand it to them. Take it out and count 28 cards face up into a pile. So they now do that, right? They're gonna go through, count all the way, and once they get to 27, you can slow them down. They take off the 28th card. Have them keep it face down. You say, reach in and slowly take out the card in your pocket. Keep it face down. Now you can do a little bit of false recapping. You can say at the beginning, you cut anywhere and took out a card, right? Which is basically what they did, but not quite, right? But you instill the false memory. You say, and then we picked random cards. You dealt down to a random deck. Every card is different, and you pulled out a card. How crazy would it be if these cards matched? Let's take a look. And you flip over, and you have an incredible kicker ending to this amazing routine. So I absolutely love this effect. I think it is fantastic, something that I've been doing for quite a while, and it is really, really powerful and always gets great reactions. So that's the original. That's the way I normally perform it. Now I want to give you a couple of quick other ideas. Instead of doing a cut deeper force, I often will use my verbal equivoque force, which I'll link up here. So I'll verbally force this at the beginning. So I'll actually verbally force the Jack of Hearts. So instead of having them pick a card at the beginning, we just go straight into the 3 cards. I reveal the 3 cards that match my prediction, and then I tell them, let's pick one last card together, but this time I want to do it totally mentally. So you're going to make every decision. I'll walk them through the verbal equivocate process, and then I'll say, add these up, deal down to the 28th, find the matching card. It'll be the Jack of Hearts, and they've obviously already named the Jack of Hearts through the equivocate procedure. And I just say, okay, you dealt any card, it was any number, flip it over, Jack of Hearts, which matches the card that they selected verbally. So I really like that as adding a mentalism twist to it. The card version just works really nice because it's all self-contained with the deck. This is also really easy to do impromptu. If you don't have a second deck on you and you don't want to do the kicker, you can also set this up really, really easy in an impromptu way. So all you need to do is, you know, the deck's all shuffled, you take it back, you say, I'm gonna make some predictions. And now you just set the predictions in order. You don't have to set anything up, right? You really don't at all. So I look, the 10 of diamonds is at the bottom, so I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna take out the 10 of hearts. Then I look at the top card. Okay, in this case it's the king of spades, so I'm gonna look, set down the king of clubs. Then I set down the next one. It's a 5 of hearts, the second card from top. So I go through and I say, I think you know what, you strike me as my last prediction. I think you're this person here. And I've set down my predictions and everything's set up. I got king, 5, and 8 and 10. And if I go force, 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 these now will all match. So this is a great impromptu effect as well, if you just do the perfect pair part of it without the kicker. So the last thing I want to touch on is for that second phase, if you can't do a bottom deal, you could do this as well. So the position you'd be in is you'd have the first pair selected, and then you'd have your 2 force cards on top. So what you could do is just shuffle one casually to the bottom and hold it there for a minute, and then you could do second deals, and you could say just call stop whenever you want. Right here, no, keep going, okay, boom, and now that's that same force card because I was just doing second deals, and now that is the force, and now your other force card's at the bottom and you're in the same position, shuffle it back to the top, and you go into the third phase. So that's a few other ideas, hopefully to help you with some of the options, but again, any force in a lot of these situations would work. I just think this is structured perfectly because each phase is so incredibly fair and progresses on the last. If you'd like to learn an incredible way to have your spectator cut directly to the aces, one of the cleanest spectator cutting to aces routine that you've ever seen, go check out this video right here. It's one of my favorite tutorials on the channel. All right guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This was an absolutely awesome tutorial. So much going on here and I really love the thinking and the kicker ending. So let me know down in the comments, do you like this routine? What's your favorite moment? What's your favorite phase? And is this something that you would perform? As always, if you guys would like to check out my Mentalism membership or sign up for a private lesson, links are down in the description. And with all that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.